Hi everyone, I'm Jen Seal and I want to welcome you here today to this class. It is yoga for beginners. And if you're watching this, you're curious about yoga or you have some interest in like getting back to the basics, right? And kind of really learning about the basic postures that we do in yoga and why we come here to our mat anyway, right? Why are we here? What are we looking to do? So I want to explore those things today with you. You really don't need any experience to do this class at all. So if this is your first class, welcome. I love it. I think my two most favorite of the 8 years or so that I've been teaching, the two favorite groups of people I love to teach are athletes, okay, because I am one, and beginners, okay, because both groups sort of have a lot of tightness, and the body awareness is you know, not exactly developed, right? We get on the mat and we're like, oh, my right foot, my left foot, what am I doing? And all of a sudden, you know, over time, you build strength, flexibility, balance, and all of that great stuff, but it has to start from the beginning, okay? And we're gonna learn some of the poses and basic poses that you'll find throughout many different classes out there, okay? So the traditional standard poses to give you a good, you know, to start you off on your yoga journey with something in hand. You leave with something, right? Yeah, so what do you need today? You don't need anything. You need your body, okay? You need a good attitude, a willingness to try, right? A willingness to try, a willingness to come back to that beginner's mentality if you're already practicing, to hone in on those skills of just how your body is going to react to these poses. And so really, you don't need props today. And if you do work with me, you know that that's a very odd thing for me to say, but this is a very accessible practice today. I would say the only other requirement is that you be able, physical requirement. We're going to start on the mat, doing some floor postures, and then we're going to be coming up to standing, do some standing postures, sometimes called poses, sometimes called asana, okay, the asanas, and then we're going to come back down. So I'm going to say about a 40-45 minute practice today, okay, and yeah, that's just about it. When we come onto our mat, however, wherever you are, honor the space that you're in. Okay, turn off that phone. If you can, put it in the other room, away from you, okay? Total distraction completely. Turn off any outside noise you have got going on. Now, obviously, if you have children, I mean, they may be around you. My cats always practice with me, you know, and that makes me happy. But turn off any outside distractions if you can, well, you know, and check the ego at the door. That's going to be a really hard one. We tend to batter ourselves in our head. So if something feels weird, as long as it's not painful, explore it. Like yoga is about exploring, you know, your inner self. It's deepening an appreciation and understanding with yourself, right? So take off any hat you wear, whatever your job, you know, your parental hat, your wife or husband or partner hat. You know, take off anything that, you know, labels you, and push it out the door just for this period of time. Hard to do, but just try. All right, let's hop on the mat. As I say, meet me on my mat. Meet me, I'll meet you on your mat. So just real quick, we're going to start in a seated posture, okay, cross-legged seated posture. Now for a lot of people, and for those that don't know me, I am very tight in my shoulders. I'm more open in my hips. So this posture called easy pose or Sukhasana is not easy for a lot of people. So if it's not very easy for you, it's not comfortable to be in this position, you can bring your feet out in front of you. You can bring one foot in front of you, you know, one foot in for more comfort, or you can bring your feet in front of you and kind of bring the soles of the feet together and create like a diamond shape here. So any one of those things. You can extend your legs out in front of you as well. You can lean up against a wall if you have one behind you, or a couch, okay? Just get comfortable for a moment. Try to elongate your spine. Try to sit up nice and tall. And I want you to imagine that you have, like, you're trying to give yourself a third chin. So take your head back a little bit, or as if you're holding an orange underneath your chin. And that's just going to make you sit up nice and straight. You can shrug your shoulders up and down. And just get a sense of just becoming a little bit more relaxed, okay? Bring your right ear to your right shoulder. And we'll talk about breathing in a moment, but for right now, just breathe organically. We're just trying to warm up here. Inhale back to center, exhaling to your left. So it's a good idea, again, to the right. We want to warm up the spine before we move. So this is oftentimes, you find that sort of stillness in a seated posture. Bring your hands behind your head and just lift the chin away from your chest and let the elbows just sort of open wide. And maybe breathe into the heart space. And then exhale, just bow your chin towards your chest. So we're not dropping our head forward, just the chin. Good. Place your hands on your knees. So I'm going to go back to that cross-legged position, okay? And dropping your shoulders down, your elbows down. Just lift your chest up, lift your heart like you want to arch your back up into the upper back. And as you exhale, you should pull the belly to your spine and round the back. Inhaling, breathe here. And exhaling out here. So rounding that back. Inhaling out. Let's do this just a couple more times. And then exhale. So you're pushing the spine to the back of the room. Chin comes to your chest. One more. In yoga, we try to match and marry the breath with the movement. So the yogic breath here is come back up nice and tall. Generally is drawn into the nose and out through the nose. But for today, let's just try breathing into the nose. Okay, into the nose. And I want you to imagine you have got a balloon in your belly. It's called belly breathing. And you can feel the belly move. So bring your hands to your belly. And then try to draw the breath slowly into the hands, into the belly area. Feel the belly move outward like a balloon. And then the exhale, maybe you can breathe out through your nose. Draw it back in. So everything kind of comes back to your center. Inhale again. Exhale. One more time. Inhale. And exhale. You can play with that, like what feels better for you today, breathing in and out through your nose or breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth. Okay, bring your left hand to the side, reach your right arm up, and just tilt to the left. So keep your gaze neutral for today. Sometimes we offer to look down, to look up, but let's just try to remain neutral today. We're trying to keep our sitting bones, our butts, right? Our glutes on the mat and just really reaching the side body. So if you don't stretch your side body a lot, you may feel that even just in these beginning little postures here, we're on the right side now, right? That you're going to feel a stretch in your side, the side of your waist, all the way into your hip, and even, in between the rib cage, right? Let's do one more time. So again, this is a nice, easy practice today. Just feeling, where am I tight? Where am I stretching? And yoga is not about competition or pain. Go back to the right side. So we're just accepting our body today exactly as it is. And then we're just going to twist. So just take your arms like an airplane and twist. So the back hand touches the floor behind you. And you're reaching for your opposite knee. Again, see if you can kind of lift up nice and tall as if you're growing long, as if you have a string attached to the top of your head and it's pulling you up like a puppet. Again, neutral gaze is in alignment with wherever your chest goes, okay? So you can be there. If you would like to gently turn your gaze over toward your left shoulder, do it mindfully. And then windmill those arms back to the other side. So the back hand is for support. So you're kind of pushing your hand down into the mat. And I'm using ridge top fingers, so little cupcake hands, spider fingers. And here the inhale, we inhale in and up to the crown of the head, through the nose, and then exhaling into our gentle twist. Not twisting too far. This is just a first round of warm up here. And then come back to center. So essentially what we did there was move the spine, okay? We tried to loosen up space in the neck and the shoulders. We want to have good alignment in the spine to move, okay? And we move the spine in the forward and back direction, side to side, and then into a gentle twist. And that's what we want to do before we begin any yoga practice, is to warm up our spine. I'm just going to fix my clothes. All right. So something about that, you'll see here, right? I didn't say anything. There's so much to say about yoga, all the good stuff, but it's, if you're in a room that's cold, certainly you can keep your socks on. But generally speaking, just to, get more fully grounded and have more connection and grip, we take our socks off. Okay, so that's why I'm barefoot. You're welcome to do that now. Take your socks off if you have them on. It's a super, sway your hips side to side while I'm talking. This is called tabletop pose, okay? And if this gives any tension to your knees, you can certainly place something underneath your knees, like a blanket, okay, or a towel, a pillow. And if your wrists bother you too, you can walk your hands slightly forward. What I want you to notice, we're not drooping down. So let's pull the belly in like we're going into that rounded back like we just did. Push the floor away and sort of dome your upper back. And take your head back and look forward a little bit. Good. Typically your wrists are underneath your shoulders, so if you're able to do that, please do that, okay? Going for a couple rounds of cat-cow here. Now my feet in the back are pressed down. You can press them down or you can curl your toes under. Okay, you can, for more stability. I'm going to keep mine pressed down. On an in-breath, you lift your chin up, you drop your belly down. So you can see a little curve in my back. And you can look up a little bit gently, and then as you exhale, just like we did when we were seated, pull that belly in towards your spine and round your back like an angry, howling cat. Look back towards your toes. Inhale here slowly, right? Breathing in through the nose if possible. If you can't, no worries. Do what you can. And pull the belly in. Cat pose. Do one more. Inhale, drop the belly. Exhale, pull the belly in. Good. Let's come off of our wrists for a moment. Sink back towards your heels. We're going to take our knees a little wide here. So open the knees. The toes in the back might touch, they might not. You're sinking your hips towards your heels. Now I said I'm fairly flexible in my knees and my hips, so my glutes touch my heels. Yours do not have to do that. We're going to be walking forward, so you may be lifted way up here. I'm totally fine with that. For child's pose, walking the hands forward and really lengthening. I want you to reach, wiggle those fingers forward so you can feel all the stretch all here, and your spine is stretching long as you're rooting your tailbone to the back of the room. Once you've got your length, bring the forearms down. Okay, bring your forearms down, and then if your head touches the floor, awesome, okay? If not, you can take your fists on top of one another and place your forehead on your fists. So that's just a way to eliminate stressing your neck out. Relax the shoulders down, away from your ears. So this is a reverent pose. We're bowing down to our own heart, if you will. So you may close your eyes here. I'm going to sink back because that feels comfortable for me. I'm just asking for you guys to find the deepest expression where you feel moderate, stretching, no pain. You're not trying to maximize anything, okay? So this is a great pose to just begin to soften and close the eyes. Release any tension around your jaw. Again, your shoulders are relaxed. You're breathing easily. Right? Your belly's between your thighs. So you can feel the breath on all sides of your body. In yoga, the first principle is ahimsa, which means kindness. So we want to practice kindness to ourselves. So I'm just going to ask you to invite that into your practice, the rest of your practice today as you're here in child's pose. Say to yourself, I'm going to be kind to myself. I practice kindness to myself and to others. Take one more nice breath here. Just preparing to move now. Really fully checking in with the body, right? Where are you feeling it today? Where are you feeling tight? Back up. Again, moving those hips side to side. I want you to come forward. So you can bring the knees back a little bit. Give yourself some space to walk your hands forward and then lower yourself down to your mat. Shoulders again are relaxed down. Okay. You're going to bring your hands by your breastbone. All right, your elbows are hugging in by your sides. Toes are pointing back. They're flat now on the mat. Okay, I want you to hover your hands a little bit here. I'm sorry your mat might not be interesting. I'm looking at you guys. Okay, I'm here for you. You're looking down. And again, that head is back slightly. Hover your hands and just feel the strength of your shoulder blades moving together. And begin to lift up any amount. Push your toes down, push your hips down, lift up. And then come back down. The forehead can touch the mat. Again, begin to lift the head, lift the hands, squeeze and lift. Squeeze the shoulder blades. So we're lifting into cobra pose. We have to understand, lower down. Again, press the feet, press the pelvis into the floor. Hover the hands, lift up. And then back down. Let's just do that 2 more times. Inhale, press the toes, press the pelvis, lift the chest, squeeze the shoulder blades, and back down. Now for this last one, keep your palms on the mat, but use the strength of your back to lift. Here it is, lift. And now maybe pressing in and lifting a little higher, using your arm bones, your arm strength to push up a little bit, but your pelvis, your hip points are still on the mat, lower down. Now bring your forearms forward. So your fingertips are pointing forward. If this bothers your lower back at all, you can take your elbows a little wider or your arm bones a little, just bring your chest down a little more by moving the arm bones forward, okay? So I'm gonna come back where my elbows are underneath my shoulders, just about, and then what you're gonna do, okay, is hold, like try to move your mat toward, you know, grip your forearms under the mat and try and pull it towards your hips. And I want you to feel the chest moving forward. You're trying to make space in the front body here. Big breath into that space. Big breath into the front body. Feel the rib cage move out as you breathe in. And then slowly elbows come out and come all the way down. Bring your hands by your breastbone again. Hug the elbows in, curl your toes under. Now, in order to come up, I want you to start using your arm strength, your triceps. So you're going to push your knees into the mat. You're going to lift your butt up a little bit, okay? Lift the belly button off the floor. That's going to give you the push. You're going to push up using your arms. Good crack. And then back towards child's pose. This is a modified child's pose. My hands are still planted plaster right where they are. My toes are turned under now. We're going to come forward. We're going to do that again. So you're going to kind of come so that you have an angle. Don't drop all the way down. Keep the belly in and then lower yourself down again, okay? Tops the feet pressed down, elbows hug. Keep your hands on the mat this time. Lift to cobra. Use your back muscles. Lift. Now maybe press. Looking forward. Finding that length in the front and exhale. Curl the toes under. Lift the butt up. Push the knees and hands into the mat. Push. And if that's hard, it's hard. But we slowly do it. We do what we can. Come forward. Let's do that a couple more times so we can feel that. So this is modified plank pose, my friends. Full plank pose, our knees are lifted. If you want to feel that for a second or two, go ahead. Go ahead. Plank, lower down, cobra, lift up, down, press back up to that modified push-up, lift the belly, push through the hands, and sink back towards that modified child's. When I say modified, it means it's not full, it's just a version of. That's what modification means in yoga, it's a version of the main pose. Lower down, and then toes back, roll up cobra. See if you can do it with your breath, exhaling, coming down. Curl toes under, prepare, breathe here. Lift the butt, exhaling, pushing up, and into that modified child's. Nice job, everyone. From here, we're gonna come to that modified plank pose. Now, if you can lift your knees, lift your knees. This is just the length of your down dog. We're gonna go into downward facing dog in a moment here. So there, or drop your knees right where they go down. So you're gonna have a nice little angle. Head is back. You're gonna hinge back, and you're gonna lift those knees up and press into an inverted V, which we call downward facing dog, okay? You can look up at your hands. Make sure your hands, your palms are pressing firmly down, all finger pads pressing firmly. Hands might be, your fingertips might be wide apart from each other. And I'm just pedaling my feet here. So you're just bending one knee, right? How does it feel? Look back towards your toes and shake your head no. And shake your head yes. Yes, I mean yes for yoga. Awesome. And we build this posture over time. So we're not staying here long, just a general inverted V, downward facing dog. Building strength in your shoulders, your arms. Look forward, lengthening your spine. Begin to walk forward to the top of your mat, however you can get there. Bend your knees a lot, okay? And I want you to take your feet wider, okay? Wider, wider, wider than your hips. Outer hip width apart, we call it, okay? Grab elbow to elbow. Now here's the deal. You start here, bend the knees and bring your elbows, support your knees are supporting your elbows. And begin to hinge forward, bow forward, letting your head be heavy. If you don't have any issues with lower back pain, bulging discs, anything of that nature, okay, you can allow yourself to come off of your knees and keep your elbow to elbow and just angle, and maybe you shift side to side. This is called ragdoll for a reason, right? We're just kind of floppy like a ragdoll, right? You can let your arms come down to the mat, feel that. Bit like a gorilla too, right? Lots of poses in yoga. I use animal names, so it makes it fun, I think. Good, now bend those knees, bring your hands to your shins. Shins just below the knees. And really, I want you to think of cat-cow here. You can actually just bring them to the knees. Let's do that. We'll do another round of cat-cow standing. So, on the in-breath, you lift the chest again, drop the shoulders back, and push the tailbone to the back of the room. Breathe here. If you're not breathing, breathe. And as you exhale, pull the belly to your spine. So we don't want to be here, right? When we fold, we want to sort of have a nice flat back. This is called halfway lift right here. We do this one a lot. So let's just do another cat-cow. So inhaling, this is sort of into cow, but it's a real big curvature of the spine, right? Exhaling into cat. Inhale, look forward, shoulders back. Exhale into that cat pose. And sort of come back to moving toward cow pose, but neutralize it a little bit, okay? Neutralize it a little bit. So not quite so much, just kind of come to neutral. And then bring your hands to your shins and try to keep your flat back. This is called halfway lift. And then we fold in half for a forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, fold. One more. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, fold. Bring those feet back inner hip width, so not touching. Halfway lift and fold. We're going to come all the way up this time to bend your knees, reach your arms wide, push into the feet, and slowly come up to stand up. Hands come to your heart. All right. So turning towards you, I'm going to turn towards you. Actually, turn toward me. So you might need to turn your mat to the side to see. I'm just going to take our feet wide. So those are some floor postures that we start with, and some bit of a flow that we call, very modified flow, what we call sun salutations, which is a very warming sequence. So the cobra, into downward facing dog, okay, plank pose, lowering down, up to cobra, to down dog. Those are all part of a flow to warm the body up. So yay. All right, we're gonna turn the toes, take them wide, take your arms wide. So your feet should be about as wide as your wrists above your ankles, sort of, approximately. You're gonna turn your left toes towards the left. And you're just gonna kick that back heel to the back outer corner of your mat or your towel or whatever. So you're sort of pointing at an angle, okay, 45 degrees this way. And bring your hands to your waist. I want you to feel that your shoulders are aligned over your hips. And I just want you to bend. Don't take your body with you. Just bend the left knee, right? Keep that right thigh pushing back and just bend the left knee, okay? That's it. And straighten it and bend. So see, my torso is not moving. It's just the left knee. When you extend your arms, you are now in a beautiful posture called Warrior Two. Okay? Very, one of, I'd say, the top 10 poses you're going to see in pretty much every yoga class you do. Unless it's on the mat, the whole thing's on the mat and you don't do any standing postures. So just holding this, I want you to feel what you feel. What feels like it's working? What feels like it's bearing the weight? Okay, move yourself a little forward and back here. So we don't want to be way forward where all the weight's on our left foot. Warrior Two, it's equal, pushing into the back outer edge of our back foot as well. Look down at your left knee. Your left knee is turning toward the left pinky toe, okay? Your shoulders are relaxed. I know your arms are getting tired, but squeeze the shoulder blades on the back, just slightly. And now, lastly, okay, fire up that right glute. All right, take one more breath here, my friends. That was a lot. And then release. Shrug your shoulders, turn your toes forward once again. Bring your hands behind you, clasp your hands, and root the knuckles down towards the mat. You're just gonna pull the shoulders back. Okay, so you're gonna feel kind of the chest open. Your palms can come to touch behind you if they can, great. If not, no worries. And take the head back again. Remember that orange. And let a nice long spine. Take a breath in here and then exhale, release the arms, float back up. You're gonna turn the right toes towards the right. So toes are pointing directly forward. And then kick the back heel back to the back outer edge of your mat. So toes are pointing this way now at an angle. You don't want to be having them pointing like that. That's going to tweak your knee this way. Hands to the waist. Align your shoulders over your hips. And then just bend in that right knee toward right pinky toe. Beautiful internal thigh stretch. Back thigh here feels good. Engage this left glute. Touch it if you need to, right? Is it saggy baggy? When you tighten it up, you're going to feel it. It's called muscular engagement. So look back towards your back fingertips. Is your arm just like hanging out like a spaghetti noodle? We want to really extend equally through both sides. Look over your right fingertips. Take a breath in, relax your shoulders. Let's do one more breath. Can you go a little deeper? Yoga teaches us to be focused in the present moment, right? You got to feel everything. And then relax. Good. Turn your toes back in. Awesome. So if you feel like you're really stretching too much, toe your feet back in a little bit more. Okay. So we're going to go again into Warrior Two. Turn the left toes. Okay. Kick the back heel and just the front knee bends. Okay. And just take your back hand to the back thigh. And as that's happening, lift the left arm up. Up overhead and stay deep in the left knee. And just reach the right hand down your right thigh and look up towards that left wrist. If that's not comfortable, you can certainly keep your neck neutral. This is called reverse warrior. So our legs are where our legs are, just our upper torso changed. Come back through warrior two. This is the inhale. Exhale, left forearm, left thigh, and the right arm comes up. This is called extended side angle pose. Okay. So the forearm isn't heavily on the thigh, but a lot of the weight is here now because we're hinged forward, right? Just keeping neutral would be looking forward, maybe looking up at the right wrist. One more breath here, and then come back to stand. Release the arms, rotate them around. Make sure you're not holding any tension in that neck, okay? Straighten. Left toes come with, turn in. Right toes turn right, warrior two. So through repetition, our body begins to learn how it feels in these poses. Warrior two. And every time you come in, you start tweaking these little adjustments. So if you forgot everything about what warrior, it doesn't matter. Keep coming, okay? Keep doing, keep practicing. Left arm goes down, right arm floats up. And then slide the left hand back. So what's happening here? You're stretching all this whole right side body. Bend deeper if you can. Maybe look up. One more breath. You're firing up everything here, guys. Everything's working for you. Good. Turn your toes in. And then start toe heeling your feet back together or hop them together if you're, want to have a little bit more fun. All right, we're gonna come to the top of our mat. Actually, no, let's stay here since you have your mat facing you this way. All right, let's do one balancing pose today. And if you can do one balancing pose to practice every day, super easy to do. Tree pose, not super easy, but super easy to practice anywhere, anytime, okay? Now, I wanna review what this is right here first. And this is super important because this is what we do. This is what we do. We stand a lot, doing a lot of things, doing the dishes, like walking, waiting in line. We are upright like this all the time, okay? How often do we see anybody walking backwards? We're always moving in a direction forward or we're standing waiting, right? You don't see people walking sideways, right? I mean, the world would be weird, right? We walk forward. But we have to be mindful of how that looks, what that looks like. In yoga, we're all about aligning the body, aligning the muscles, so we can open up, we can become more flexible, okay? We can become more mobile, we can help our, lubricate our joints and our muscles. But if we're in bad posture, it's not going to help, okay? I want you to just stand the way you normally stand, okay? This instruction might seem really nitpicky, but it's so important. So whether you've been doing yoga for 5 minutes with me or for a long time, we always come back to this pose here called mountain pose, Tadasana pose. So your feet are about inner hip width apart. That's just about a fist's width if you put it between your feet, okay? So find that. I want you to lift the toes up and then put them back onto the mat and lift the heels up, put your heels back on the mat and find your grounding center there, where you're not too far back or too far forward. Okay. Stand now, just stand how you would normally stand if you were at the store. So me, it looks like, it looks like this. I'm always kicking my left hip out. This is not good alignment, folks. And I'm usually like this, like hunching forward. And I'm gonna tell you, computers, sitting at your table, driving, right? All attention here, and you end up with back issues here. Alignment is key, okay? So I want you to act as if your feet are pressing down into the mat and you're trying to like hover over your mat. What's that gonna do? When you lift your toes up, you press your feet down and try to lift off the muscles here. Your kneecaps sort of lift and your thigh muscles engage. So not super tight, but feel that. Hug the muscles to the bone. Holding that. Bring one hand to your belly, another hand to your waist, and I want you to go into like a minor little cat pose like we've been doing. So it's just like pushing, like beginning to round the back, but don't round the back. Just draw the belly in and up, and that little tailbone's gonna go down just a little bit. Okay, holding that. Now, lift the shoulders up and back and down, and then bring your hands to the back of your head and push the head into your hands like you're pushing it into a headrest in your car. So I just went from this to this. Now hopefully you feel that in your body as well. This is called Tadasana. Your arms really are just by your sides. And you're trying to hold that, not hold your breath, but keep the engagement of the core lifting in and up, right? Take a breath in and just relax the shoulders down. Again, try not to drop the head forward. Take another breath in. Exhale it out. Through the mouth this time. One more breath in. Make it audible and exhale through the mouth. If you're like, what the heck is up with this breath? It'll come, I promise. Okay. So let's just bring the arms up overhead. Good, and then exhale the hands down. So you're still pressing down, lifting in, and just letting the arms float. Letting the breath work to help you. Exhale. Let's do one more. Let's see my hands here. And exhale. Bring your hands to your heart. Now, tree pose. I forget how important teaching Tadasana is. So work on that, you guys. Work on how your form looks, whatever you're doing, and then know that you can make these corrections in any moment you're in, right? With tree pose, we're standing into the left foot. I want you to really press your left foot down. You can bend your right knee to bring the weight into the left side. Keep that lift. Don't let that hip sag. Push it in, push down. And then turn your knee to, I'm just getting my hands on my hips actually. Turn your knee out to the right. Keep engaging and firing up your left glute to keep that leg pressing down firmly. And you can keep your toes on the mat and just bring your sole of the right foot to your ankle. You see, you can do this anywhere, right? You can be in the grocery store, you can just be like, oh, and then begin to lift the toe off the mat. Again, don't sag, don't let that happen. Fire up your glutes, squeeze them together. You've got a walnut back there, okay? Not like you want to crack it open, just engage your glutes. Your hands can stay at your heart. Balancing is hard for you, remember. We're not judging ourselves here today, we're just witnessing, we're being a witness to our body today. Feel free to add the arms. You can probably feel how your ankle is moving to stabilize you, right? I mean, think about it. We're balancing on one little piece of property on our one little foot, our whole body. It is not easy. So if you wobble, trees wobble in the wind, they sway. It's okay. Take one more breath. See, make sure you're breathing. Usually I can tell when people aren't breathing. And bring it down. And now you can sort of like shake it out and get all groovy and just loosen it up. And then come right in, other side. Push down, grow long and tall. Engage the glute, turn your left knee out, bring your palms to your heart or to your hips. And you can stay here in a kickstand. You're opening it, stretching here, and you're growing taller and you're creating balance, better balance. So one thing to think about. You want to look at something, whether it's on the floor in front of you or something directly in front of you that's not moving, and it's pretty center to what you are looking, straight, okay? So I'm looking at a little dot above my head on my screen. My camera light is on. That is what I'm focused on because it's directly in front of me. I'm gonna lift my toes just up, just gently. Notice, gotta make sure that those glutes are fired up, and lift the kneecap, squeeze the thigh, this right thigh, and you're gonna find more stability. Add the arms if you feel called to do that. And again, try not to grip with the feet. Just feel like you have big feet, right? Spreading down like a tree, like roots rooting down, holding you up so you can reach up. Take one more breath, you can do it. And then exhale everything back down. Nice job, everybody. Shake it out. It's always good, it's okay. You'll see people do funny things in yoga class. All right, I'm gonna do one more pose. It's called chair pose. Actually, I can do it facing you. I'll turn to the side so you can see. Okay, in chair pose, I'm not gonna make you we're just gonna do the bottom half of chair pose today. But bring your hands to your hips, okay? I want you to sink your hips back and kind of cut into it like there's a seat right there. I want you to look down towards your knees. Your feet are either, you can take them together or bring them apart. It's a preference here. And sink. So it's sort of like that cat-cow, right? Except we don't want to be fully in an arch. So pull it in. That's that belly in and up. Engage that. Sink a little deeper. Oh my gosh, this will fire you up. Just for a few breaths. You can do this. You can do hard things. You can do hard things. This is building such strength in your quads, strength in your glutes. Your glutes are cannot be not engaged here, right? Later when we add the arms, it's shoulder stability and strength as well. Take one more breath. You can do this. Palms come together and then fold forward. Keep the knees bent. Remember that halfway lift? Here it is, halfway lift. Nice flat back. We're coming down to the mat. So fold forward. I want you to step your right foot back and step your left foot back. Bring those knees down again and lower down. This is our flow from earlier. Roll up to cobra. Back down. Curl the toes under, lift the belly. So you look like a little snake, right? Push up, use those arms. And let's come back into that child's pose. We were here before, right? Walk those hands forward, forearms down, head down, or maybe fists on top of each other. Or maybe hands on top of each other. So feel child's pose now from when we did it earlier. Okay. And we're going to come back up. Child's pose is one pose you could always come to anytime during your practice. If you need to take a break, you need to slow it down, something's just feeling off, right? You can always come here to child's pose. And you could pause me and just be here as long as you want, right? Let's turn around. So again, this is just a beginner's class. We're not going to learn all of the poses. These are just some of the major poses you're going to see in many different classes. You just got to keep watching. Again, we don't need any props. You're just coming down, all right? Yoga is not just about building flexibility and adding focus. Take your feet wide and just let your knees fall on the right side. It's building strength. It's building mindfulness in how we move. It helps us with alignment, right? And so we align ourselves with everything else we do. And I'm just telling you, whatever we do here, it translates out there. So we're practicing mental stuff, right? We're practicing getting more in tune with our body. Turn your legs to the left side. And then back to center again. To the right, your feet are wide here, so you're just getting a nice inner thigh, inner hip flexor stretch. And then back to the other side. Good. Take your feet back to center. So bring your heels so they're, closer to your glutes. And then you can take your palm, actually no, let's just bring the arms up and just roll a little side to side so your shoulder blades are wide on the back. Good. Then place the forearms down on the mat with your fingertips sticking up towards the ceiling. All right, this is going to be your stability holder here. Push into your feet and then lift those hips up. Drive the knees forward. Hips lift, thighs lift, hips lift. And then roll your shoulders just slightly underneath you, looking up towards the ceiling. Again, you got a walnut, right? Your glutes are holding a walnut, and you want to make sure that these guys are fired up. That's going to help you stay lifted. This is called bridge pose. Okay, bridge. You can go under the bridge, right? Good. Notice what's happening here. This is a chest opener, a heart opener, right? It's also helping to strengthen our glutes and our quads, our thighs and our hamstrings, all working here. Take one more breath in bridge pose. So you can breathe right here, right? Breathe into your heart space. Feel that. And slowly begin to come down. Woo. Again, windshield wiper those knees just once on each side. And you're going to draw your knees into your chest. So think of child's pose on your back now. We did child's pose forward facing. Now you bring your knees wide. This is sort of child's pose, right? Relax your shoulders down. You can rock side to side to massage your back. Bring your knees back together and just keep your right knee hugging in and let your left leg go long. Whenever we're doing something in the back, it's supine. Okay, supine, so we're in a supine position right now. And you're gonna take that knee and just the whole lower half of your body is gonna go left. All right, so it's called a supine twist. And allow the knee may not find the mat at all. Try to keep your right shoulder on the mat. If that bothers you, you can always bring your arm closer to the body or even reach it overhead if that feels good for you. So for me, it's better down here. Shoulder can relax a little bit more. Look over your right shoulder if you'd like. We're not pulling, we're just allowing for a nice juicy twist here. Come back to center and switch it out. Left knee comes in, hug it right in toward the left shoulder. Right thigh is pressing down. And if you have tight hip flexors here, you might find the knee lifts because this needs to be open a little bit more. In my next class, the next beginner's class, we'll be working more on hip openers. So I hope you can join me, opening up the front of the body here. Take the lower half of the body into that twist so your shoulders stay on the mat, just your legs moving. Be mindful of that shoulder, so bringing your arm closer to the body if need be. Remember, on the inhale, right, we're sort of preparing the body, so you might come out of the pose a little on an inhale, and on the exhale, we deepen, little by little. We're never pulling, we're never forcing, okay? The breath is reminding us of that. When we hold our breath, we're probably efforting way too much. And then come back to center. Hug those knees in. Nice job, everybody. Okay, final pose in yoga is called Shavasana. And it's the last final resting pose. So take the feet a little wider here, and here's where you would put your socks back on. I don't know what I did with mine. You can put your socks back on. You can cover yourself up with a blanket. Just make sure you're comfortable. You can put your sweatshirt on. Okay. Your hands can be by your sides. This is kind of traditional form. So maybe try this today. And in this pose, our practice is done. Okay. All the work, they'll continue to work as we move on through our day, but hopefully you feel a little bit more open, a little bit more flexible, a little bit more balanced, right? But we're quiet here. We're going to be in stillness. I'm going to say, I have a clock here. I'll watch it. It might be hard to be in stillness if you haven't done this before, okay? So just for 2 minutes today, I stop talking, and you just sort of do a body scan. Start with your feet, and just notice each body part, how it feels today. All the way up to your head, all the way up to your brain. Don't forget your heart. Okay. So let's start now. And your eyes are closed and you're breathing normally. So all you have to do is lay here. And if thoughts come in, just think of it like clouds. Don't try to attach to anything, just let them go. Okay. You're about halfway there, so another minute or so. Notice if you're fidgeting, notice if you're resisting. Try to be still, even if it's hard. Begin to allow the breath to deepen now here. So attach your awareness to the fact that you're breathing. Draw the breath into your nose. Fill up your belly with your breath. Feel your chest rise. And as you exhale, open the mouth, let the breath out. The sigh. Let's do it 2 more times together. Breathe in. Breathe out. Just notice how it just quiets the body. Take 1 more nice breath in. And breathe out. And bring your feet back together. Reach your arms overhead and rotate your wrists. And point and flex the toes. Maybe spread the toes nice and wide. Rotate your ankles and your wrists in one direction and the other. Maybe just shake the legs a little bit. Move your head side to side. Take a nice deep breath in. Grow nice and long, super long. Exhale. Hug the knees into your chest. Roll onto your right side. Just really slowly, like molasses, like slow motion. Bring yourself up to your seat. It's hard to move slowly sometimes, especially if you're like me. Come back to that seated position, whichever was comfortable for you. And I want you to notice if you're in cross-legged, if you have your right shin forward, that's how you go all the time. I want you to try to switch it up. Okay, make sure you're switching it up every once in a while. We don't want to be unbalanced as long as it's comfortable. So our practice is over. Bring your palms together to your heart space. Sit up nice and tall. Give yourself credit. Always practicing with gratitude, just for whatever this practice reveals for you. No judgment. This is a no judgment zone, no competition zone. It's just a self-acceptance zone of awareness, mindfulness, and just, a deeper connection to self. Self-care at its finest. Awesome. So I'd like to end class. I always end class this way. Bow your chin to your chest. Your palms are together. Your fingers are separated. This is called Anjali Mudra. Anjali means heart. So you're essentially bowing to your own heart, to your inner essence, your inner light. Practicing kindness, right? We were trying to practice kindness today. So I invite you to try to practice kindness off your mat today as well. Bring it into your real life. So honoring this practice today, honoring yourself, and offering gratitude for showing up to do this practice, and honoring each other. So we might be able to come into this space together, working each on our own selves, right? And not comparing and not creating judgment. Honoring the practice of yoga. Bring the thumbs to the center of your forehead. Take a nice deep breath in as you lift the chin away from your chest. Just honoring a higher self as well. Deep breath in, exhale, hinging forward. And we say namaste. Namaste, loosely defined, means the light in me honors the light in you. And when you're in that place in you, I'm in that place in me, we are one. So how cool is that? Thank you everyone so much for practicing with me today. I want you to have a beautiful day and I hope that you return.